and welcome to Newsbeats on Internet Television International, reaching you from our Abuja studios in Nigeria. Thanks for logging on. I am Grace Ukut. First, the headlines. Jonathan submits nomination form to PDP. Jega appeals to National Assembly for more time, and National Assembly agrees to shift elections. All this when we come back. President Goodluck Jonathan submitted his nomination form and interest of the fee to the National Executive Council of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as part of eligibility requirements prior to the party primaries. The president was accompanied by some of his ministers and the governor as entourage to the brief event which took place at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja. Our reporter Ogodadi Uge was there and now completes the story.
This is the Wadata Plaza where the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party is. President Goodluck Jonathan has just walked into the first floor where he has gone to submit his nomination form and his interest of the fee, which is about 1 million naira, indicating his interest to run for the 2011 presidential race. It went on very, very well. We are all very happy with what went on inside. Yes. You are expecting a credible and a free and fair primaries. The PDP has set in motion to have a very, very transparent primaries. In fact, we're starting with the sale of our forms. We have said time without number that anybody who feels that he or she has been denied the right to purchase our form can always come to the National Secretariat and buy the form. So nobody will be denied the chance to participate in our primaries.
The president's submission of form is essentially changed. He's here to submit his form because we all have been clamoring for change, and we're happy he has declared he has picked his form and he has come to submit his forms. So essentially it's for change.
As the president and his entourage take their leave, the topic on everyone's lips is who shall emerge winner in the party primaries. For ITI, I am Ogodadi Uge.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission on Monday appealed to the National Assembly as it reconvenes from recess to explore all possible avenues within the ambit of the law to extend the time available to INEC to conduct the voters' registration exercise and the 2011 election. He stated this while briefing members of the press at the INEC headquarters in Abuja.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it has since become clear that due to a combination of legal, administrative, and practical reasons, among them delays in bringing the new electoral legal framework into operation, we have missed some of these timelines. I wish to express the appreciation of the Commission to both the executive and the legislative arms of government for their abiding support and tireless effort in this regard. But the challenge of time persists.
Professor Atahiru Jega, who was briefing the press for the second time since his appointment as the chairman of the commission, also used the opportunity to quell the rumor that two companies who are to supply the DDC machines have pulled out.
People are writing all sorts of wrong, misleading information in the newspapers, and unfortunately you guys are the ones who are, and I'm sorry to say, I'm not being specific, but some of you are not considering the information that are giving you, that some other people are giving you for whatever their agenda is. So it's not true. Lenovo was given the RFQ. Lenovo has quoted. Avante was given the RFQ. Avante has quoted. So I don't know why you got information that these people had backed out. Maybe if you have more information, say it here so that we can correct it.
Jega promised that if given the time extension, INEC will deliver flawless voters register and conduct a Grade A election. He therefore requested all stakeholders and the wider Nigerian public to support the relevant organization of the government to adjust the existing time frame. The National Assembly has agreed to amend relevant sections of the Constitution and the Electoral Act 2010 to enable the Independent National Electoral Commission extend the timeline for the 2011 electoral process. Briefing newsmen after members of the National Assembly Committees on Constitution Review met behind closed doors with INEC officials in Abuja, Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu said the lawmakers agreed to grant INEC's request in order to have credible elections by 2011.
Assemblies will also be involved. We are hoping to meet with the state assemblies, the state assembly speakers by tomorrow night. We hope they will be in Abuja tomorrow night, where the leadership of the National Assembly will have the opportunity of meeting with them, Mr. President, and the governors of respective states, so that we'll all commit ourselves further to an expeditious treatment of this national emergency, because that's what it is.
He said the leadership of the National Assembly will meet with President Goodluck Jonathan, state governors and speakers of state houses of assembly to facilitate the amendment of the Constitution and the Electoral Act 2010 to meet INEC's request. Ekweremadu blamed the current dilemma on conduct of the polls on INEC.
About building institutions in Nigeria, INEC is an institution. It's not all about Jega. INEC knew that there would be election in 2011, so they ought to be prepared for it. If the revision of register is required, you don't wait for the last minute to do that. So they would have done this all this while. So I don't think any person will blame the National Assembly for doing that, for the problem they have now. So essentially, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's the failure on the part of INEC as an institution. I'm not blaming it on Jega anyway. INEC knew there would be election in 2011. Apparently, they are not prepared for it, right? And then the general date was like a recommendation from the West report, for which Jega was a member. And Nigerians were praising the committee's report, and they joined us to, as much as possible, legislate on those recommendations, and went ahead and prescribed an early election. And now somebody is complaining. So anyway, the important thing that we find ourselves in a situation where it is important that the election be shifted so that we do an acceptable election. And what is important is that if we shift it, let it be seen that there will be a credible election, not just shifting and at the end of the day we end up having something that will be embarrassing to all of us.
INEC was, however, warned to stop the incessant demands from the National Assembly, as it will no longer grant any more requests from the Commission.
After this presentation, we pray that we will not have a reason for another presentation. We pray that this time around, this will be the last request that will come from any quarters regarding this election, because it won't continue that way. If there is any failure, God forbid, but I think it will become a crisis.
INEC is to send details of a proposed timeline to the National Assembly on Wednesday to enable lawmakers decide on the amendment to the legal framework. And that's it on News Bits for today. I am Grace Ukot. Thanks for logging on.